Okay, we should be live now. Sorry for the delay, everyone. I was having some issues with the images in the background not properly showing up, so I had to kind of figure out what was going on with that. So, my apologies. But with that out of the way, hello everyone. My name is Mitchell Mander, and welcome to my live discussion of episode 53 of Pokemon Horizons. Well, you can tell by the title of the stream or video whenever you're viewing this. Yeah, Hatenna evolved in this episode. So, we're going to have a few things to talk about here. So, yeah. Now, if you're someone that's new here, this is the first time you're coming across this stream, just to kind of explain how this works. Usually, I give it about 5 minutes, maybe. Just wait for some people to show up that are viewing live. Once we get either a sufficient amount of people or if we're still waiting on people. Regardless, I will go over the episode, kind of give my thoughts on the episode, provide a summary, and then my air conditioner needs to go off before that becomes too loud. What I was saying was I give a summary of the episode, my thoughts, and then I assign a rating to the episode. And then I leave it to you in the audience that's here for the live discussion to give their thoughts about the episode, and then we basically assign a rating at the end of it. We go on for about an hour, hour and a half, usually. Sometimes the streams can be less than an hour, sometimes they're more than an hour and a half, but yeah. Just depends on kind of like what the episode is about and kind of what we're all talking about. Sometimes we veer off into other subjects too, so just be aware of that. But yeah, that's what we do here. Got a little distracted there. I'm going to put a poll up. So I'm going to say, rate this episode out of 10, like I normally do. And I want you guys in the chat, or just viewing, to go ahead and cast your vote. Then 5. Alright, poll is up. Looks like we got Pokefan here. What's up, Pokefan? Welcome in. Oh, we already got someone voting. Cool. Not much, just eating pizza. That sounds pretty good. That's what I was doing yesterday after my Summerfest live stream. So before we get started here, how's everyone doing? How's your weekend going? How's your week going? Everything good? And also, if you want to go ahead and give your thoughts on the episode, go right ahead. Sorry about the claims, my guide. That sucks. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's just something that you kind of have to deal with sometimes when you're watching some live streams like that. Especially when they tend to just drop random songs that happen to, fall under, copyright. And not tell the streamers beforehand to watch out for that. So that kind of happens. New to the channel, how old are you, out of curiosity? That's something that's personal, so I don't like to disclose that. The only thing that I'll clue you in on is that I've pretty much been a fan of Pokemon since almost the beginning. So, I literally watched the OG series and quit after AG, then came back during the X and Y days. And I've been watching the series pretty regularly since then. So, there you go. That's all I'm going to say about that. You're good. Oh, miraculous holder, 365. Got some Asian food. That sounds good. I could use something here for lunch here after the stream ends. Wow, we got a decent crowd here. We've already got five likes. That was quick. Can we get this to 10 likes before the end of the stream? That would be cool. If you haven't already liked it. If you've already done it, if you already liked the video, you've already done your part. And I thank you. Wow, we have 5 votes and everyone's saying 8-7. Seems kind of a unanimous consensus that it's an 8 or 7 out of 10 episode, so. Alright. Whoa, we've actually gone past the 5-minute mark, so, you know, I'm going to go ahead and get started here, just kind of going over my thoughts, and once I'm done with that, I will return back to the chat and read off the chat, so you can go ahead and leave your chats in the chat, and I'll get to it once I'm done with, I guess, my summary review / review of the episode. So, obviously, going off of the previous episode, Roy wants to investigate this thing known as the unworldly, since he learned that from Rhyme. And they end up running into three trainers that happen to look similar to Liko, Roy, and Dot. And then Hatenna heals their Pokemon and heals them because they're injured. But turns out they actually were running away from the unworldly too.
This is a Game Chops jam.
Yep. I'll go into that in a minute. But that kind of threw me off, to be completely honest. But they ended up investigating themselves, and they end up coming across a pretty scary looking tree, and they end up getting ambushed by a mysterious Pokemon, which they assume is the unworldly. The girl that looks like Liko, her name's Luca, which I don't even think she actually told them her name, by the way. Unless I might not have to go back and rewatch the episode, but I don't recall hearing that. But her bag, actually, the strap actually gets torn off, so she actually ends up taking a vine from a tree and kind of utilizing it as a substitute. More on that later. So, after they get their Pokemon healed and they get healed, and they basically tell them all this, Roy's like, yeah, we want to still investigate, and they're like, yeah, we want none of this, so goodbye, thank you, but we're out of here, goodbye, you're on your own now. Anyways, they go in further, and they end up coming across an Annihilape, which they assume is the unworldly, which I guess kind of makes sense. And obviously, being a pretty strong Pokemon, they manage to subdue it, but they can't obviously defeat it. But they go further in, and they come across a bunch of Mankey and Primate, and they are not too happy, and they assume that the Annihilape is actually like their leader. It turns out he's not. But anyways, we find out that the reason why the Mankey are angry and they're just attacking everyone, which, by the way, they're actually holding their own against all these Pokemon, which is kind of nice. Florgato, Fuecoco, and Quaxley were doing pretty good, all considering. But it turns out that because that girl, Luca, took that vine, it actually caused the Mankey to get separated from their berry horde, so they're super angry about that. And Hatenna's the one that finds that out. So they decide to help out the Mankey by creating a bridge. Literally, they create a bridge, get it over to the other side, and they end up climbing over there. And this was Kilowattro's pretty much its only involvement in this episode, by the way. More on that in a minute, but they end up creating the bridge, and everything seems good. And Hatenna briefly glows for a second, which Liko immediately notices, and then they actually end up causing a big boulder to fall through and actually destroy their horde of berries. Alice almost ends up crushing some of them too. So they're pretty angry, and they two of the Primate get so angry that they literally evolve into Annihilape, which doesn't that kill them? they might have gotten so angry they died, which I think is a Pokedex entry too. But anyways, they're all just fighting and quarreling, and like everything's going, wrong. All the Mankey and Primate are just, like, knocked out, too, which I thought was kind of funny. A little funny detail there, and it's like, what can we do in this situation? Hatenna tries to calm them down. This little pea Pokemon tries to calm them down, and inevitably ends up evolving into Hattrem. And learns Brutal Swing, obviously a super effective move against Annihilate, which, well, maybe it's not. Because isn't it fighting ghosts? Maybe it does normal damage, I don't know. Someone in the comment section can tell me. But, or in the chat. But, it ends up using Brutal Swing and literally, like, one-shots all these Annihilate. Yeah. Hatenna went from pretty much almost borderline useless in battle to, like, being extremely valuable in, battle, suddenly. Quite the power-up. But anyways, they all calm down. They help gather some more berries, and yeah, they're off to the academy now, since they got all their stuff for their research done here. Excuse me. And yeah, that's the episode. So overall, in my opinion, I think this episode was actually a solid episode for the most part. I have a couple of nitpicks with this one. The one thing that I will say that I like here is that, like, this is a good example of Liko, Roy, and Dot, being independent. Because obviously, like, none of the Rising Volt Tacklers were in this episode. They didn't have Freed to, like, help them out in this situation. They managed this on their own without anybody else's help. They literally resolved this whole situation on their own, which is really nice, and I'm glad that the episode actually showcased this. It shows that, they're becoming more independent. At a certain point, they're not going to need Freed. Well, I guess they don't really need Freed's help now in certain situations, because they were able to handle it, which was actually kind of cool. That is one thing I thought was pretty nice in the episode. Annihilate was really cool. I will say the evolution between Hatenna to Hattrem was actually kind of nice, too. I do think that it's kind of interesting that some people are like, well, an evolution might happen. Well, it might actually, no, maybe it'll just learn a new move. And, well, we kind of got both. I like how they not only gave us the evolution, but they gave us the new move as well. So we got 2 in 1. So I guess people that wanted the evolution and wanted a new move kind of, I guess, won out in the end. Because you got both. Why not both? So that's cool and all. Some nitpicks I do have with this episode. I'll be completely honest. The whole doppelgangers, or the copycat Liko, Roy, and Dot, they weren't in the episode as much as I was hoping they would be, because they were kind of advertising this as, oh, look, Liko, Roy, and Dot, they run into their doppelgangers and stuff like that, and they were barely in the episode. They showed up at the beginning and then they left, and the only, like, thing about them that Liko and Roy and Dot make the connection about is that the Mankey were, like, super angry, and they thought that Liko, Roy, and Dot were the ones responsible because their doppelgangers in the episode looked pretty similar to them. Not to mention they had similar Pokemon as well. Not exactly the same, but they mistook them. And they're like, oh, they think that we're them. So, like, to me, I don't know. I felt like that was kind of a little bit of a letdown, to be completely honest. I was kind of hoping they'd be a little bit more involved in the episode. Especially crazy since Liko, Roy, and Dot were handling their own against this horde of Mankeys and Primate and even an Annihilate. So it'd be cool if maybe they, helped out as well, but I guess not. So there is that. The other nitpick I have is Kilowattrel's involvement in the episode. It just evolved, so this would have been a cool way to showcase, how strong it is. I get that Hattrem, Hatenna's evolution in the Hattrem was the main, like, priority here. They wanted to, focus on that so that, Kilowattrel, the Pokemon that just evolved last episode, I guess doesn't take away from that. At the same time, it kind of could have been used in battle, because, again, just the starters were being used. and nobody else. I mean, Roy, you literally have your burb that literally became a bigger burb that's probably more powerful and more capable, and you don't use it in battle. Instead, you use it to, get across the river for that bridge. Really, dude? Really? So, those would be my main nitpicks for the episode. This felt like a another more traditional Pokemon episode. Definitely not filler, obviously, because we got Hattrem. And I'm very surprised that we got 2 back-to-back evolutions. Like, that was very surprising. I was not expecting that. That's why I'm a little bit shocked, because I was like, okay, Wattrel evolved into kill the Wattrel. And, we got, Hatenna evolving into Hattrem. That's usually doesn't happen like that, but I guess, they wanted to get this out of the way, I suppose. I mean, I did like the evolution. I think it was a nice episode for Hatenna/Hattrem, and it's now a capable fighter now, which is good. That means it's going to be more useful in the future, especially in battle. I do feel like it should have done a little bit more beforehand. The only thing I can give it is that it had more of a presence than Wattrel did, so I guess you can argue that its evolution was more justifiable. But still, yeah, could have used a little bit more focus beforehand. That's just me, though. But besides, those nitpicks aside, it was a pretty nice episode. I would probably give it a 7 personally. Maybe a 7.5 if I'm being generous. I think that's a fair rating for this one. Well, yeah, we'll see what happens in the future. I guess, Liko's got both of her Pokemon to the mid-level evolutions now, so I guess it's only a matter of time before she gets, Meowscarada and then the final evolution of Hatenna line. Why does its name escape me? Oh well. But yeah, I guess next up is maybe Roy, Fuecoco or Quaxley. I would prefer Fuecoco, since Fuecoco's got the experience and the moveset to justify it. But yeah, Hattrem, you're right. Thanks, Pokefan. I can always depend on you. But yeah, those are my thoughts. So, time to get caught up in the chat, because you guys have you've shown up and you've chatted, and I gotta catch up now. So, where did I leave off? A Pokefan, I enjoyed it. Hattrem is adorable. The doppelgangers are basically useless. Yep. I feel like Hattrem evolving like this was decent because she was really a fighter. Plus, she seemed to be reaching her breaking point. That was true. She was also a little bit braver in this episode too, because she was very shy and very scared when we first met it, and it stood up to 3 Annihilates, being this little pea Pokemon. Like, what's it gonna do? Heal it? I like how it beat them up and then healed them. That was funny. Same. Or Kevin says, same, I can understand. I watched from the beginning also. I took a break at Unova anime and picked it back up. Gotcha. Yep. It was AG for me, so. Wasn't really a fighter, dumb typo. Oh, gotcha. I also thought it was funny. Yep, neutral damage. Yep, knew it. Also, I'm not joking. I predicted her evolution to a T without leaks. I actually went on Bulbapedia a few days before the episode and looked at her moves and went, imagine if she learns Brutal Swing after evolving to defeat the Annihilate and save everyone. You predicted the future, my friend. Miraculous Holder, 8 out of 10. But I was not expecting 2 evolutions in a row, though. That is not the reason for this ranking. Yeah, that was a missed opportunity. Yeah. I sadly know why they did that, because they must keep the start dynamic alive. Yeah. And again, you got this powerful new burb that definitely is probably going to do some damage, more so than when it was a Wattrel, Just saying. Clawliz, hello, what's up? Welcome in. How are you doing? This episode was so much fun. The OST was great for this episode. I think they had a remix for the gym battle theme, if I recall correctly. Wasn't that in the episode? I feel this is going to be an evolution arc and training arc. I hope people lay of them trying to capture lay off of them trying to capture every Pokemon in Paldea in 25 episodes. We could probably wait a little bit before that. Is this Pokemon music? Yeah, it is. National Park. Thought so. Hattrem is cute and no, she's outgrown the hoodie. The scene was... Oh yeah, that was funny at the end. Yep, I remember that. Too big for it now. Oh well. She was disappointed, but now she's gotten bigger. And her personality is expanded a little bit too. A little bit more spunky. T. Henry 12, welcome in! How are you? I just saw you yesterday for the Summer Game Fest stream. I'm currently dealing with claims right now, which has not been fun, but we'll deal with it. We'll get through this. Although it was a good episode, but I really wish Hattrem gotten more development before it evolved. The same thing happened with Wattrel. It might be a training development arc, but it's fine. Yeah, I like that we're getting focus for the Pokemon. I just wish that they did a little bit more beforehand. It's like in the previous episode when Wattrel was, trying to get the berries from the tree, and Fuecoco easily gets it, and they're like, yeah, it mastered Flame Charge. And I'm sitting there like, dude, you have this other Pokemon that really needs, some focus too, and, needs to learn some new moves. Focus on that. Just saying. I don't mind the Doppelganger's not doing too much alongside Hatenna's development. Would have been fighting for screen time. I get that, but still, I don't know. It kind of just feels a little underwhelming in my opinion. They kind of were building it up. I don't know. I'm very mixed on it. They served their purpose in the episode. I just wish they did more. I don't get the obsession of Nihilate. I personally care for the design. I love the Hatenna messed them up. I can say I battled a few of them in Pokemon Go, and they are super strong. Personally don't care. Gotcha. You're good. I like Annihilate. Not my favorite Paldea Pokemon, but in my top 10. Decent. I was not expecting a evolution from Primate evolution going into those games. Nice design though. I still need to get it in Pokemon Go. I think you have to win in a bunch of raids or something. Is it raids or is it... I forget how to evolve it and Go, but it's one of those things where you have to satisfy a requirement or whatever. Could even be catching ghost type Pokemon or fighting type Pokemon or something like that too. I'd have to look at it again. The colors for Annihilape's design don't feel right to me. I mean, it is a little bit of a contrast compared to, Primate and Mankey too. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Regis. Welcome in. Everyone say hi. I do have one fear. The deck says Hattrem gets very upset and stressed about any emotions, even positive ones, and views them as loud noises. So we could see some conflict. That could be a future episode or future conflict. Down the road. That'd be interesting to see. That's what scares me about this line, anime-wise, because they can be very unpredictable. Yeah. True. We already saw how they acted in that one, aimed to be a Pokemon Master episode. I don't play enough Go, so don't look at me. I only recently got back in the Go myself after kind of taking a long hiatus from it because I don't like how Niantic, operates or runs their games, especially Go. Especially lately, post 2020, 2021. I could go into a whole rant about that, but I'm not going to do that here. I was literally on the money with how the doppelgangers were handled because their presence immediately reminded me of a scene from Shaun of the Dead. Really now? And I got a like just for that comparison on X, Twitter? My feed has been kind of scattered lately, so I might have missed that. I'll have to look. I don't care for the design type, though. I think you have to defeat that 30 psychic or ghost type Pokemon in Pokemon. That sounds about right. One day, I got a lot of catching up to do in that game that I'll probably never catch up to. I think they're doing some of the Ultra Beasts now, right? Some of them are out on the raids, but yeah. I just haven't had a chance to actually like go out and like raid with people like I used to. It was really fun back in like 2017, 2018. And then our community died in 2020 when the pandemic happened, and that's kind of where like my story with Go kind of ended for a while. Eventually got back into it, but yeah. I like to imagine Hattrem loves listening to music, but when she puts up the volume, it gets upset and smashes the headphones and phone. That would be funny to see. Oh boy. In Shaun of the Dead, there's a whole brief scene where the characters encounter their doppelgangers. It's very funny. Gotcha. Only really play Go for shinies. Yeah, that's usually your community days. And even then, it's like... Yeah. It was fun for a little bit there. I just only recently got back into it because I'm like, oh, I haven't done this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Oh, and this Pokemon showed up and stuff like that. I've also utilized Go for like trading and transferring over to the game so I can complete my decks. Cheap way to do it, but you know, sometimes you gotta utilize what you can. The OST is really what impressed me most of this episode. Yeah, I will say the OST was pretty strong for this one. Wow, 9 likes. We're 1 away from 10, guys. Jeez, 12 votes. What are your feelings with Evolution Horizons? Do you feel every Pokemon in the trio has to evolve? That's a good question. Not necessarily. I do think that, like, in some cases, an evolution is probably needed. I feel like we really needed Hatenna to evolve at some point, which we got in this episode. But, it depends. I guess we'll see what's going on with Fuecoco and Quaxley. Fuecoco could have been one of those Pokemon that could, yeah, Fuecoco could be like the one that could stay. It'd be a little frustrating since it's just learning new moves left and right, but that is one that could maybe stay at the lowest evolution line. That's also very popular, but I guess we'll see. There's a lot of hints suggesting that Fuecoco might be next. And if it were to evolve, I kind of want it to happen during like a gym battle. I'm calling it now. Quaxley and Fuecoco will both evolve at the end of the arc. Alright, noted. I guess we'll see if that plays out. They could do what they did in Journey's Darkest Day arc, where Reboot and Riolu both evolved at the same time. They could pull something off like that, but who knows? Okay, I'm kind of discombobulated here. I'm sorry. Okay, so I have a complaint about the anime in general. This is Kilowattrel hit related. So I really hate when a Pokemon reaches its final evolution, or they're just a big Pokemon in general. The trainers put them in their ball half the time unless needed for battle or care. Because due to their size, they're bigger and animation costs. Yeah, I get your point. It's something that hopefully doesn't affect Kilowattrel too much, because I want him to be I want him to be more present. Also, let's get in a battle. Maybe that's involved in the next major battle. I don't know if it's going to be involved in the upcoming Elite Four matchups, exhibition matchups. I guess that'll be seen. I think they might just stick with Fuecoco again. Who knows? But I would like to see it maybe get involved here. But, you know, have it out in its ball and just hang out and stuff. I think we saw it like at one point in the episode, kind of hanging out. I think someone had a image of it hanging out at the fire or something. Was it this episode or was it the previous? I don't know. There was in the next episode or something. I have to re-look into it, but I thought I saw it. There was an image of it like sitting next to like a campfire or something. But have it just be present, you know. I guess that's the main point is make it present. Like, we can have it for battles and stuff, but like don't have it just like disappearing for a long time. Well, hopefully Horizons won't have that issue because they each don't have a full team. That is true. I guess it is to be seen if they catch another Pokemon here. As long as their current team gets proper focus, maybe they could add a third one, but we'll see. That's to be seen. I want Fuecoco to evolve, but I have a weird feeling it might not. Quaxaline gets a lot of hate for its final evolution, so I can see them not fully evolving him. Meowscarter is my least favorite final. Yeah, I know, like, every time I hear people talking about it, they're like, yeah, don't evolve, Quaxly. Just don't evolve. Just don't do it. I love Quaxaline. I feel Quaxwell is the most fitting for a Dot, especially if you read the Dex entries. I feel like it still could have a good chance of evolving. It's just, I can already see people just hating on it for whatever reason. Well, they just don't like the design, too. Guess that's the main reason. Perfect examples when Cinderace, Inteleon, and Lucario arrived. They were always in their balls when not in use because of their size, but when not evolved, they were out and about. That is a good point. Yeah, remember when it was a little bit, for that little bit of time, it was like the trio. It was Pikachu, Reboot, and Riolu that were like the three like Pokemon that just hung out and like were out of their balls. Well, obviously Pikachu, but they're out of their balls all the time. And what third Pokemon for Roy, Liko, and Dot will be captured? I mean, will be captured. I don't know if we're gonna be catching any Pokemon this arc, but when we go outside of Paldea again, once we go look for Kleavor or Entei, there's a possibility of them potentially catching a Sinnoh or Johto Pokemon. That's a possibility. It's kind of hard to say what they could possibly get, though. It's one of those things. Again, I'd have like on the spot. I can't think of it, but like I'd have to look at some Pokemon and be like, oh, this one would work. This one would work. You know what I mean? So if I had to guess, it might be like when we go for the other heroes, they might catch a new one, possibly. I was hoping Sprig won't evolve because of her final, but Florganto's one mid-stage of Paldea. Yeah. They do have some called shoulder walking Pokemon in the anime where the more smaller to medium-sized Pokemon, they either walk alongside or they're on their trainer's shoulder. Yep. Sorry to disappoint by Meowscarada is my favorite final evolution of the three. Major respect for Skellydirge, though. I like Skellydirge the most, personally. I don't know, not trying to, like, cause controversy here, but, the Paldean starters are not, besides, well, I like their, like, initial evolutions the best, personally, or, like, their initial base forms the best, personally. For each one of them, well, I do like Florgato, I guess. Just my thoughts. Flora should have been a final evolution. I really enjoy the Quaxley line. It was my starter choice at the very end, so I'm not against it. But in terms of Dots Quaxley specifically, I don't feel like an evolution is necessary. Yeah, I guess we'll see what they decide to do. We've been getting those hints here and there, so. I mean, hey, I thought, you know, the hints for Boykoko and Quaxley were there, and, you know, then Wattrel and Hatenna evolved first, so there's that. However, I'm not going to throw a fit or quit watching if it happens. Yeah, Quaxley evolves. Alright. Breaking my silence, I'm dropping Pokemon Horizons. Quaxley evolved. Game over. Fun times. Thank you, Mitchell. I don't think we will get any captures this arc, but if we do, Frigbix and Chardet are preferred. Possibly. I would love Roy to catch a Kricketot and Sinnoh. That could work. Actually, that sounds like a good idea, but guess we'll see. Still not dying on that hill for Liko to get an Armourouge to mirror Amethio. I mean, that'd actually be cool. You know, that'd be a parallel right there that could possibly fit that in. Makes you wonder what's going to happen next in the series. What do you think about episode 54? I'm interested in the episode. The B plotline is obviously the kids and in the episode, so that's kind of neat. And a new outfit as we're heading back to the academy, so that's kind of cool. But I think the Freed investigating that company is going to be... I'm very much intrigued by that. We're definitely going to be seeing Freed go up against some of the explorers, and we're going to have a developing plotline there. Maybe he exposes them. Who knows? I will say this, guys. I know there's a couple of you here. I'm probably going to be making a post about this too in the next day or two, whenever I get a second. But this upcoming weekend, I'm actually going to be out of town. I'm not going to be home next Saturday. I think I come back on sometime on Sunday. So we're either going to have the live discussion Sunday night or Monday night. The reason why I say possibly Monday night is because I believe isn't next Sunday Father's Day. Because if that's the case, I'm probably going to have to do something with family. It is. So I just wanted to give you guys a pre-heads up that we're going to be shifting things a little bit. I'm probably going to be doing this Sunday or Monday night. To be determined. So to be completely honest, I probably won't be able to watch this episode until at least Sunday. So I wanted to give you guys a big heads up before that. So Hope you understand. I gotta get out of town once in a while. I think Roy would get the Chardet. To be honest, he doesn't really rival Amethio. Yeah, I don't really see the connection there. Like Liko and Amethio kind of have more of a rival, like a potential rival connection there. But yeah, the only thing about that though is he has Fuecoco already, so I doubt that. Yeah, that is a good point. It would kind of be, we'd have 2 fire types. Yeah, probably not. Super excited for next week. Me too. Drifloon would be a great catch, and Sinnoh, I want them to go back to Galar one day. Impidimp would be a great for Dot, and Toxa would be amazing for Roy. Yeah, it depends on if we go back to Galar. The only reason we'd have to go back to Galar is to, pick up Liko's grandma. And I feel like something like that would be reserved for, the, latter parts of the series. Or in the event we speculated a while back that Liko's grandmother gets captured by the explorers for some reason. And then we have to go after, save her, and then eventually we head back to Galar for a little bit. Who knows? Also, Anne appearing again, and the same time we see Frida investigates. This is why we don't trust Anne completely. I know that everybody, really likes her despite her limited screen time, but we all don't forget that is it just me, or whenever Anne shows up, the explorers strike? Just saying. Also, there's a funny meme that someone posted online that says, "Do not trust Anne." So yeah. Me still waiting for Alola. Yeah. I don't know if we're going to go to Alola in the series, though. That's the thing. We would need a legitimate reason to go to Alola. Is the problem. They could have had Lapras appear in Alola, and that's when we find out, there's a big Lapras that's causing problems in Alola. We should investigate. That would have been... That's what I thought, maybe the direction they were going, and then Lapras was just in Galar. Or in the seeds of Galar, wherever they were at when they got it. Never really disclosed where it was found at, too, but I would say Galar, since we were still with Liko's grandma at that time. I thought for a second, we're gonna say Liko's grandma get a cat. Oh. Me just bumbling around here with my words. I think Eevee would be great for Liko. I think it could work, but at the same time, be like, oh, another main character, character is getting an Eevee. What evolution is it going to be? Plus, we already just went through that with Koharu and Lana back to back, so I feel like if we were to give Eevee or Liko an Eevee, people would probably complain. So maybe it's best to avoid that. I love Galar designs. They are peak. I don't know if that will either. I think they will go to Sinnoh. They will go there either, I think you meant. They will go to Sinnoh, Johto, and Kalos. Sinnoh and Johto, I feel like is a given. Unless Entei, went to another, region somehow, or, Kanto or something. Kalos, the only way we would probably go there is whatever we're going to do in ZA, if we decide to, implement that in Horizons, depending on when ZA comes out. We still have the Explorer Paldea, Area 0, Kitakami possibly, and the Blue Academy. Those are other possible places to go to. So we got a lot to cover in the series. So That's why I'm like, I don't think we're gonna visit every region, unfortunately. Anyways, that's about it from me. See ya. Gotta eat. Alright. Thank you once again for joining, Clawliz. I don't know if you're still here to listen to me say this, but once again, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining. Everyone, say bye to Clawliz. Makes sense. Galler's Ocean would be colder. Yeah. Do you think they're going to be at the Explorer's base or just a research lab? That's a good question. It's possible that he stumbles across their headquarters, which would mean that the Explorers are based in Paldea. That would be something. Or they'd have to move locations. Who knows? Hot take. Give Roy the Eevee. Girls always get it, and nothing wrong with a girl having a Pokemon, but it's a biased, unspoken rule, I feel. Yeah. True. I'm so tired of them making Eevee a Pokegirl fetish. Okay. Yeah. I get what your point is, but yeah. The only main male characters who had an evolution is Gary and Spinel. And then we had what's-his-face from, not a main... I wouldn't call Gary and Spinel main characters, but yeah, I get your point. Not a main character, but Virgil had like a team of Eevees. And I imagine Penny is going to have a team of the evolutions too. Or at least one of them. And don't forget we got a character that is an Eevee fan in the series. What kind of shiny Pokemon will Liko, Roy, and Dot get? I don't know if they're gonna get any shiny captures unless Roy captures the shiny Rayquaza. I mean, I wouldn't say Gary's a main character. He's a main rival. And if we're being honest, Gary's presence was a little bit limited in the original series, so I kind of have a hard time saying he's like a main character. I'd say he's like a main rival. I'd probably be more comfortable putting him in that position. That's just me, though. However, I don't know. Yeah, like I said, the only shiny that currently has a possibility for the character is Roy getting shiny Rayquaza, if that even happens. Hold on, what is this song? Oh, okay, interesting. I'm just gonna pivot really quickly and just say, just to get it out of the way, the music you're hearing in the background is from the Video Game Study Lounge, which is linked in the description. It is from a separate stream that streams video game lo-fi remixes and some originals too, based off of some video game sounds. But it's called. A channel's called Game Chops. I listen to it when I stream. Obviously, when I do these streams. Study, work out. I'm at work. You know, I need something to distract me from the work day. I listen to this stuff, and I like it. So, check it out sometime. Anyways, back to our regular scheduled programming. The thing that trips me up about Rayquaza is that it belongs to Lucius, so unless Lucius gives it to him, even if he's still alive or a ghost, then yeah, it kind of depends on like what the plan is for like the end of the series. Like, we're taking Terapagos and the hero Pokemon to Rakua, so are they gonna just, you know, stay there and, you know, be with Lucius? Because that's like the thing about it is like, unless like Rayquaza decides to go with Roy or something at the end. I'm not against him getting Rayquaza, just handle it right. Exactly. I don't need a rehash of what happened with Project Mew and how that ended. Definitely drop the ball with that. I don't want Roy to fall into the same trap that Go did, because I don't need that happening again. But I also want him, I want it to be handled right. I don't want it just given to him. on a silver platter. So there's gotta be a way to handle this in the right way. So, do you think Murdoch's Rockruff will get a new evolution like how they teased the next gen, like they did with Maze, Munchlax, and James, Mr. Mime Jr.? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say if any of the other Rising Volt tacklers are going to have like any evolutions. It's possible, but I'm not sure. I feel like the main focus should be on the kids. You know, also they can assist and stuff like that, like Freed, helping them out here and there. But yeah, that's the one thing that I liked about this episode is that like in the past, like if this were like early series, Liko and Roy, they would not have been able to do anything here. Same with Dot. Dot would probably be the one that's like carrying if anything, but they'd probably be like wiped out by the Mankeys and stuff. But it kind of just shows how much progress they've made. Early series, Liko and Roy wouldn't have stood a chance here. Freed would have had to bail them out. Kind of like on episode 4, I think, when they got captured by the bug Pokemon. But yeah. Lost my train of thought completely. But anyways, let's get on with the chat. Oh gosh, the memories. Project Mew started hype and ended crap. Yeah, that's the thing is I don't know when you showed up to my channel. I assume you showed up here during Horizons, but when I was covering Journeys and when I was doing my reviews, I basically said, hey, I like Project Mew. It's cool. It's unique. It is something different, and I like that Go is getting this, for him. We can do these episodes with Project Mew alongside, Ash competing in the PWC, and it kind of, made things a little bit better for Go, because like I was never a big fan of how he captured his Pokemon, but hey, the Pokemon that he captured could be utilized for unique situations during Project Mew. Not to mention he could capture a brand new Pokemon, which he did, and he got also a Reggie. Alongside Gary as well. Which, that's neat. But, yeah. The ending for Project Mew, like, there's a lot of things that were kind of wrong about it. Especially kind of going into it. It was like, oh, what 3 people are going to, or like 3 characters are going to be chosen for it? Obviously, Go, but it's like, who's the other 3? Oh, Gary, of course, and then the other one, Tokyo. Oh, we haven't seen him in a minute, and then he shows up in that Articuno raid episode. Oh yeah, I'm doing it because I want to get closer with the Celebi, just like your goal of getting, capturing Mew. But this will help me. And of course, he's part of it, but I don't know. I could go on all day about how that was very much mishandled and. Especially after Ash won, and I was like, this is great, what a great moment, and then we get these episodes which basically brought down the mood. Brought us back to reality, sadly. Man. Memories from a year and a half ago. Off topic, but I love anime characters have little dot noses. Yeah, that's funny. I love the Rising Volt tacklers. The only ones that bore me are Orla and Freed. Really? Freed? Freed's the man. Orla, I like her. I just, I feel like she could do a little bit more. But, oh well. She's not a main character. I love the Rising... Oh, I've already read that. Also, Drompin, he needs a haircut. The Articuno battle was rigged. I know it's a legendary, but they really didn't want any Pokemon that wasn't a starter or Pikachu, Lucario to shine. Yeah, then the first bunch just get wiped. Derek, welcome in. Surfetch was the GOAT and could have done work. Yeah, I was mad about that. I remember that. It was one of the first Pokemon, and they just went boom. Nope, one-shotted. I get that the raids that are like that are kind of difficult, and if you don't have the right Pokemon for it, it can like get one-shotted. It's still, come on now. Different medium, you can showcase it a little bit better. I feel like what's the point of Roy owning a Rayquaza? I feel like legendary Pokemon deserve to be free. I get your point, but also this particular Rayquaza was owned by a ancient explorer Pokemon, Lucius, so he was already under someone's ownership, so Roy getting it, you know, and it being under his ownership wouldn't be too bad. It's just like, okay, nobody's messing with Roy. He's got this busted Pokemon that no one could beat in episode 45. Time for Roy to enter the PWC. And that's how the series ends, with him being like, alright, Ash, take on my Rayquaza that's level 1000. I only like Orla because she's... Oh. Okay, we know why you like her. And I agree, Pokefan. Freed is overrated. As a character, he's cool, but I feel he's a security blanket. A Charizard and a Pikachu so original. I get it. That's kind of the joke. Is that, yeah, what does he have? Oh, a Pikachu. The mascot of the Pokemon series, and then the Charizard. Like, everybody seems to have Charizards every series. I get it. But, I don't know. Freed's kind of cool. He's like, you know, it made sense for him to be really strong and, you know, a protector in the beginning, but yeah. Yeah, same with Galarian Moltres and Entei, so it's a different situation. Yep. Cap is cool. Amicio is overrated. Amicio, I feel, I like him, but like I feel like he could do more, have more presence, and he needs a little bit more personality too. Because I know people don't like Amicio and think he has like a dead personality, so they could add like some background to his character or something to make us care for him. That would be great. Maybe get like a backstory episode down the road. That'd be cool. Like, why did he join the Explorers kind of thing. It would give a little bit more insight to him. Maybe make him more likable. Jokes aside, though, Orla is alright. At least she had that one episode. Yeah, and the episode, unfortunately, wasn't the best. Not to mention Freed kind of hijacked it at the end. Oh, man. He's my least favorite explorer. He should have less presence. Onium makes the episodes make him tolerable. Spinel deserves more free time. Well, I think Coney and Zerk have like not done like a ton. Like they're probably my least favorite. Like Konya had potential in the beginning because she showed that she has a personality, an interesting, fun personality, but then we don't see it again. Amicio is sadly starting to shift to leave my number one favorite character slot because we just don't have enough time with him and he's kind of one-dimensional. Dot takes the wheel. Yeah, that's like I said. Like he doesn't have a presence in this arc either. Like he had a nice ending in episode 45 where he like set aside his differences with Freed and teamed up with him. But like we need like to. I want to know more about him. There was some like a little hint in episode 25 where Terrapagos looked at him and got angry. So it's like he recognizes something in Amethio. So like, what's Amethio's connection to the explorers? Is he like Gibeon's like descendant or like son or something? Like, what is he? Is he somehow related to Liko or something? Like, there's something there. I just feel like if they want him to be like a memorable villain, he needs to have A, more personality, and B, like some type of backstory or background to kind of get us like invested in his character. Because as of right now, I don't really care about him a ton. His subordinates, like Konya, had potential, but we haven't done anything with them recently. Like, the focus for this arc seems to be on the other admins, being, Sango and Onyx, and then Agate, who's a teacher at the academy currently. And we might be getting a little bit more info on the explorers in episode 54 too, so keep that in mind. But they're like the main like explorers to deal with this time around. I mean, personally, my favorite explorer is Sango, and it's mainly because they are like utilizing her personality to like the maximum. And they're doing a good job with it, not to mention the voice casting for the character in the Japanese version is just like perfect. It is like perfect casting and works so well with the character. Yeah, no complaints there. So yeah, there's my rant about how I want Amethio to have a little bit more backstory and character. Because he has potential. He has potential. But like, the series is not doing enough with him. And we're, again, dealing with other explorers at the moment. Who haven't done a ton this arc, but Sango has been a menace. So, the little gremlin she is. Will Liko, Roy, and Dot go to Teal Mask and Indigo? You mean Kitakami and Blueberry Academy? That's to be seen. We're about 50. We're over 50 episodes in the series, which I assume we're more than a third of the way done. So, in the remaining time, we're gonna probably be in Paldea for a little bit here, then go off to find the other explorers and then do our own thing. But yeah, who knows? He's the best explorer. They make Amethio overshine them. Onya still has amazing personality. Zur is a bit boring, but can get his hate. Well, again, Konya just doesn't do enough. Like, but she has a great personality. It's just we don't see it enough. So, and they're not present as much. I haven't been very present, so it's kind of just hard for me to get invested in them. Weird theory, is Amethio not really a true member or more of a prisoner to pay them off or something? Like, basically he owes them something or screwed up and is paying the price because he just doesn't seem evil like the others. That's something that people have kind of noticed, is that like Amethio doesn't, like, he won't truly like harm people unless it's like for a specific purpose. Like, he actually saved Liko in episode 45, and Liko at that time was like, well, thank you, and he tried to brush it off like, oh, no, I wasn't trying to save you, don't get confused, I was just doing it for my own purposes kind of thing. Her voice actor in the dub, I don't watch the subs, I follow YouTubes to keep up with Horizons, and interesting. I would probably still encourage you to try out the subs, because I've watched some of the dub and I think it's alright, but yeah, I have my problems with the dub. I will say that Sango / Coral, as she's known in the dub, her voice actress is a good one. It's a good casting, Lizzie Freeman. She's been in a few things I like, so I'm down with the voice cast there. The casting there. I feel like we have at least 2 or 3 more arcs. I imagine we'll probably go for about 140 episodes, somewhere in that range. He's not. Amethio isn't evil. That's why he didn't really interest me. He's a highly developed Elan. Oh, she plays Pomni in the Amazing Digital Circus. Oh, you didn't know that? Yeah, Lizzie Freeman. She plays Yangfei in Genshin. That's where I originally heard her from, and then I heard her in Amazing Digital Circus, and then I found out she was gonna be Coral in Horizon. So, yep, she's a great VA. Well, again, Kevin, I just want to reiterate that Amethio is a character that right now doesn't have a lot of development, but in the future we could see something that could make his character better. But right now, yeah, he is kind of not the best. I will say I did like that he put his differences aside with the Risingville Tacklers and teamed up against Rayquaza with Freed. That was cool. Do you like the animation of Horizons? For the most part, yeah. I mean, obviously being, a long-running series, you're going to have episodes that, are of lower quality. But when, you have your, plot important episodes or, the really, battle-heavy episodes, episode 45 had some good animation. There was I think episode 18 had some really good animation, too. And stuff like that, you're going to have, really, super good looking episodes. But yeah, being a long running series, you're going to have episodes that don't look the best. Which is why when you get those Pokemon short series Paldean Wings and Twilight Wings, or it's Paldean Wilds, I think it was. And then it was Twilight Wings for Sword and Shield. When you get series like that, the animation tends to be really amazing for those because they're shorter and they take a little bit longer to develop too. They're not released every week. They're maybe be a month between episodes and stuff. I'd rather watch dub and be able to understand things in my native language and not get viruses using sketchy sites to watch it illegally. That's a good point. There is a way to get around that though with the Some Stuff sub site. You just need a BitTorrent downloader. You just run it through that and you're good. You're good to go. No viruses. I will definitely say this. Amethio has potential. Wonder if he'll have a breaking point and go full crazy and with determination to prove himself. And then after an intense scenario, he breaks down and has a redemption. That is something that I'm kind of interested to see what happens. Because, it would actually be really neat. Because, with the original Pokemon anime, we never got, a redemption for Team Rocket. They're just eternally, chasing that Ash forever to get his Pikachu. Whereas here, we have being more, plot-driven and story-centric with the Explorers and stuff. We have the potential to see, the Explorers get defeated in the end, and break up and stuff like that. And maybe Amethio ends up betraying them, or he gets betrayed by some of them, and, he sees that he was used by the organization or something like that. And then he turns a new leaf and, teams up with, Rico and the others and, at the end of it goes as separate ways, having to go, on a journey of redemption or something like that. Who knows? I feel like there's potential. So, I'm just curious to see what episode 54 is going to bring to the table since Freed is going to be, coming across the Explorers and stuff. More than likely. Not worth the risk. Not that tech savvy. Do you? Okay. Fair enough. I'm just putting it out there. There is a method that's easy and no viruses, but each to their own, I suppose. Do you think Liko, Roy, and Dot will move to next gen too? I wonder how they will change the plot next gen. I get the feeling that that's not going to be the case. I feel like Horizons is probably just going to be for Liko, Roy, and Dot, personally. Unless the end of the series gives us a reason to continue Liko's journey beyond this series. I feel Spinel is the only guy who would backstab and try to overthrow Gideon because he's power mad, power hungry. That is true. He does seem to have his own ulterior motive, so I guess we'll see what he decides to do in the future. He seems so done with everything and everyone and just wants his plans. Maybe he gets a little too drunk on power and takes Terapagos for himself. Guess we'll find out. We still don't know what the explorers really want, too. That's another thing, too. Because he said, I need that Rayquaza for my idea. So yeah, maybe he's plotting something that might be, like, you know, threatening to the entire planet. Who knows? Hold on 1 second. And 50-50, they were cooking Horizons for a long time to create Liko and Roy and to create new main characters again. I don't know. I understand that, but at the same time, with this series being a little bit more plot focused and plot centric, it feels like this series is kind of built for these characters and not meant for them to carry forward past it. Because with Ash, you at least had the excuse of him losing, you know, the Pokemon League, and then going on to the next region. You know, getting a new cast of characters that are meant to promote the games. You know, and then rinse and repeat. And then that ended. We had Ash win the Alola League and then become world champion after that. But with this series, it's mainly focused on Liko, you know, taking Terapagos and the other hero Pokemon to Rakua, wherever that's going to be eventually. But the question would be, like, after that whole plot line wraps up, and we're done with the explorers, we're done with everything, like, what are we going to do at that point? Because I feel like at the end of it all, you know, we're going to part ways with everyone because, you know, the plot wraps up, you know. At that point, I assume Liko, Roy, and Dot are, you know, strong enough to handle their own, so they each go their separate ways. And they decide to go on their own journey, which, if they want to, they could be like, okay, you know, Liko's going to do this now. Roy's going to do this now. Maybe Roy decides to take on the gym challenge somewhere in, like, Kanto or something. Maybe Dot decides, you know, to do in real life streams or something, I don't know, more often. And becomes more popular than Iono, and then Liko does whatever she wants to do. It, you know, moves on to, you know, discover Pokemon's feelings or whatnot. It's hard to say. I mean, they could write it and have them continue, or like one of them continue, but who knows? I just feel like with the way the series is kind of written, it feels like this series is just meant for them, and after that we're going to move on to other characters, but who knows? I wouldn't mind. One of my favorite shows, Infinity Train, is an anthology series that shows new characters in the same world each season with little to no major connection to previous established main characters. Will Arven come to Pokemon Horizons? More than likely, yeah. Just don't know when. Feel that to everything can be resolved in one gen. But to create all this work for the next main character, Ken Sugimori designed Liko and Roy, and they were planning it for a long time. And having an Oshawott. Yeah, I understand that. I still hope Rakua isn't Area Zero. I just want an original idea. I'm weird. That's just the running theory, is that Rakua is Area Zero, because, I mean, that's where we find Terapagos in the game, so, like, I mean, it would be predictable, so I guess we'll see what they decide to do. With the reboot being so successful, why risk do a new reboot again? I can see Liko continue a long time, but Roy, no. Well, I wouldn't say it's like super successful, but I mean, Horizons has done pretty well for itself. Okay, here's what definitely happens. Dot becomes the #1 streamer and gets her YouTube play button, or whatever the equivalent is for the Pokemon world, the Poke play button, I don't know. Roy becomes an adventurer and traveler, and Liko is a Pokemon therapist, nothing more. You know, I'd actually be down for that. That'd be cool. Wow, we are almost at 1,500 subscribers. 2 more to go. And then I will be at the big 1.5k subs. Well, not big, but I guess big for the channel. I remember I predicted Hatenna's evolution, so I saw the future. Oh, so what else did you see? What you holding back from us, Pokefan? Don't hide the details. I want to know what's happening next. Oh, Lord. This has been a fun stream. Sorry, I like this song. Just listening and vibing here. You have to attend bingo next week. Oh, okay. I see. I feel if they wanted her to be a long-term protagonist, she could have gotten a non-traditional starter. Yeah. Who knows? Like, we could sit here and say, oh, she's not going to be showing up in the next gen, and they decide to do just that. My just current feeling is this series is clearly written for these characters, so I have a hard time seeing them moving on to the next series. But who knows? We could be all wrong, and they completely subvert our expectations, and we get Liko again in Gen 10, whenever that is. Definitely, you definitely win. Okay. Traditional starters are overrated. They are for rich kids. Wait, Liko's parents own a mansion. I love Liko, just not her starter. I wouldn't say she owns a mansion, but she does. She's pretty well off. Will Dot and Penny will have future episode together? It would be a very missed opportunity if they didn't have an episode together. Number one. Number two, we see them vibing together in the opening, so, like, they don't meet and talk. Yeah, I think you're gonna anger some people. So, yeah, do it. If Liko does stay, her having Meowscarda as her permanent partner would be nice, since Pikachu basically swallowed an Everstone. It feels either that, or he's just Built different? True. He's too popular to evolve. I have no issue not having Liko equals no Meowscarda. So I would be happy to. Okay. Okay. So we do have 6 of you here. What's up, y'all? If we could get at least one more like here. Actually, do I have 10 likes? Actually, I have 10 likes. Never mind. Oh, if you want to keep liking, go right ahead. But we hit 10 likes. That is awesome. Thank you so much. One of these days, I'll get to 100 likes in a stream. That's when I can't keep up with the chat anymore. If it ever got that big. I kind of like where we're at right now, where I can actually like read everyone's chats and it's not too overwhelming. I love Liko's character. They almost want to make her a witch. How so? %45 said 10-9. 55% said 8-7. Not bad. Oh, a future vision update. Liko performs with Meowscarda as an entertainer for a children's hospital, and then the show ends. Fate sealed. Oh, okay. Wow. Time to clip this and like put it in the vault so that when the series ends and that doesn't happen, I'm gonna show this big. Okay, Pokefan, what was this? I'm just kidding. I'm not a fan of, but the Hatenna line is beautifully designed. She has a magician Pokemon and a beautiful witch. Lol. But yeah, wow. Wait a second. We got 7 people here? 8 concurrent viewers? What's up, everyone? Now it's down to 6. As soon as I say that, they start leaving. Please don't leave. I need to put food on the table. I'm afraid they are going to give her rolls also. Yeah, I mean it would fit, but yeah, I get your point. I don't know if we have a reason to go to Hoenn, but the only reason I'd feel like we'd go to Hoenn is like to meet Zinnia or something and like ask her about Rayquaza. That'd be like the only reason I could see us going to Hoenn. I see them totally doing that. Well, I guess if we go to Hoenn, we'll see what happens. Brad, Annie, Cartoon 2008? Welcome in. Imagine Liko's Meowscarda performs in Pokemon showcases. Oh boy. That would be something. Also, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Wow, we got 9 people here. Where's everyone coming from? Okay. Honestly, I want Roy to have a Gallade. It's a night and Roy wants to capture and defeat Rayquaza, so it works, especially Mega Gallade. I could see that. That's cool. I don't see her going to Hoenn, but I feel like it's Pokemon the writers would pull. Perhaps. Do you think Airship will be fixed? Yeah, probably at some point. More than likely, once we're done with Terrestrial Debut chapter, we'll probably be going on to whatever is chapter 4 of the series. Which I expect this arc to go on. Probably, we're in episode 53. At a minimum, we'll be here at a minimum to at least episode 70, I'd say. 65, 70. And then we'll do whatever we're doing for arc 4. So I imagine that the ship will be repaired by then. It'd be kind of weird if they go back to like, yeah, we can't repair the ship, so we're just not going to continue the hero line. It would be kind of awkward. Ralts, I believe, is the feeling Pokemon. I mean, sure, it could probably work, but we kind of already got, you know, Forgato and Hattrem, so... Girls doing contests as their path is so last year, but I get it. It sadly seems so stereotypical. Yeah, I don't know if we've kind of done that already, so like, if anything, it could be like Koharu and it's like a one-off thing. But I kind of want the characters, in my opinion, to have different goals instead of like, you know, I want to be, you know, performer or be in contests and stuff like that. Like, I know it's like a nice like side thing to do in the games, but like, yeah, I just kind of want different goals, which is what I've liked what the series has kind of done post Kalos. Like, Sophocles wants to be an astronaut. Like, that's cool. You know, Kiawe wants to become an island kahuna. Cool. Just like his grandfather. I kind of wish Lily had a more developed goal, though. But yeah, beggars can't be choosers, I suppose. Yep, Ralts is the feeling Pokemon. Corelli is the emotion Pokemon. Gardevoir is the embrace Pokemon. Do we really want to give Liko this Pokemon line? Oh boy. So you think Sango Coral has a second Pokemon, or do you think she will catch one? She's the only explorer without 2 Pokemon. That's hard to say. It'd be nice if they had if she had another one, but right now I think she's just sticking with Glalie. That's why I love Horizons, is they are breaking stereotypes. True. Lily has no goal now. She found her dad, so back to being a spoiled child who lives in a mansion. I don't want Liko to have Ralts. I was just listening to categories, gotcha. Give me 1 second, y'all. She has another Pokemon. She has to have another Pokemon. Even Zernonia or Konia have 2 Pokemon. I mean, maybe. I don't know. Until she shows a second Pokemon, she doesn't have a second Pokemon, you know? Wait, I misspoke. Hamburg only has one known Pokemon. Yeah. I thought they only have Golduck and Rhyperior. I mean, you can can we count Corviknight? Is Corviknight, like, you know, countable? I mean, I guess. They mainly use it to kind of just fly and stuff. Oh, wait, I think it's Metheo that has Corviknight, and Zerk and Konya have Skarmory. Yeah, you're right, Kevin and Pokefan. I was thinking Corviknight, but then I forgot. See, it's been a while since we've seen them. I know, God, I forgot too. I just remember Corviknight. I forgot about them having Skarmory. But when do they actually use them outside of just flying around, you know? So, yeah. Okay, Skarmory really could use a second evolution. Maybe. Okay, guys, oh, what the heck? Oh. Okay, so, we've been going for about an hour and a half now, which is, usually about where we call it a day. I guess I'll stay on a little bit longer here since we got 9 of you here. So I guess we can continue chatting for a little bit. And apparently we're up to 11 viewers now. Wow. Or 10. What's up, y'all? Imagine catching a Pokemon and only using it as a vehicle. That is true. Sorry, Miraidon. Or Koraidon. Gotta go. My mom's back, I think, so gonna go see her. Okay, Pokefan, you're good. You're good. Thank you so much for joining. This was a fun chat we had. Fun combo. So, you have a great rest of the day. Everyone wish Pokefan a good day. We have quite a crowd here, though. 10 people. 10 or 9. It kind of shifts between the two, but wow. Welcome, everyone. Like I said, I usually go about an hour, hour and a half. And we're just past the 1.5 hour mark, so... is there anything else you guys want to chat about? People also joke about Dot having a Tinkaton bullying Corviknight, but if you... Sorry, there's something covering up the chat. But if you read Skarmory, you're also afraid of Corviknight. True. The Pokédex entry Skarmory are also afraid of Corviknight. That makes sense. Is anyone live right now? Doesn't look like it, unfortunately. That's what I didn't like in Scarlet and Violet, is to make the vehicle Pokemon. Make vehicle Pokemon, yeah. Like, I think it's nice having it, you know, it kind of just, you know, saves time running around and stuff, but yeah. It's just like, well, we're just using the Pokemon just to drive around town. Let me get on my motorcycle Pokemon in Violet. It'll just drive me everywhere and climb up everything. I learned to love Tinkaton because I'm afraid of birds and she could protect me. Gotcha. Okay, we're gonna give it a couple more minutes, guys, and then I think we're gonna wrap things up here. I need to go. There's somewhere I need to be, and I also need to eat 2 before that. Not to cut you guys short, but yeah. I know we got a decent crowd here right now. But yeah. I like the Pokemon Horizon theme songs. Yeah, the openings and endings are pretty good. I like the current ending. Feels like we actually have an ending for once. When I saw her for the first time in Scarlet Violet, I immediately thought of the angry, an angry ex-wife. Really? Hold on. Okay, guys. Anything else? I think we'll probably wrap it up here in just a minute. Okay. This was a pretty fun discussion. Had a lot of fun today. Alright, I'll answer this question. Do you have a favorite starter this gen, and what's your final stage? Voicoco, and probably its evolution line. Last question. Sorry to overload. No, you're good. You're good, Kevin. Don't worry about it. I appreciate the questions. It's just, typically we only do this for like an hour and a half. So, sometimes we go over, sometimes we're under an hour. That's just, just what we do here. So, I'm just surprised about the amount of people. Usually by this point we maybe have like 2 or 3 or 4 people left. So, I'm just not used to having 10 people here at the end. I enjoyed talking to you. Well, I enjoyed talking to you as well. We do this typically on Saturdays around noon Eastern time zone. Like I said, we're going to have a little bit of a change next weekend just because I'm out of town. I'll be either doing this Sunday or Monday night. More to come on that, though. But yeah, I think we're going to wrap things up here. So I've had a lot of fun today. We had a really good and fruitful conversation, just hanging out and chatting, It's all about, we're just discussing our thoughts on the episodes, Nobody's wrong, everyone has their own opinions and stuff. Just remember that. We're here to have a good time and chat, talk about things we liked and disliked about the episodes and stuff. Okay, will you make a review video on Friday? Probably not. I've kind of discontinued episode reviews. I ended that with Journeys. So I typically just do it with these episodes. I've thought about doing bulk reviews, where I maybe review the episode for a minute and then give it a rating and then move on to the next one. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. That might be for further down the road. Right now, I kind of like my format of just doing this and then the episode discussions and then maybe speculation on future episodes and stuff like that, or future events. It's kind of where I'm at right now with the channel, but maybe one day I'll do bulk reviews. We'll see. If that's something you want, let me know, but if so, I will consider it for the future. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. I gotta go get some food really quickly, and then I gotta be on my way going somewhere. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone that's joined. I'm gonna go ahead and in the poll, if you haven't voted, we had 23 votes, quite a lot, more than normal. We had 8-7 win, and I gave it a 7. A lot of people voted 10-9, so I'm gonna bump it up and make it a 7.5 out of 10 score from me. So I hope that's fair to everyone. I like your formats. I like to discuss future episodes. Well, thank you. Well, hopefully we'll see you again in a future live discussion, and also I do the upcoming episode summaries and titles too. So hopefully I'll see you in the comment section. So hopefully I'll see you again in the future. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna wrap things up here. So if you're still in the chat, thank you so much for joining. It's been a pleasure, but I gotta go, guys. I gotta go get some food now. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of the weekend and rest of the day, and I will see you all later. Bye.